Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the wrestling world never stops, and neither do me and Tom. That's why we're here for the Tom Harrison podcast, Wrestling with Marks. I'm here with, of course, the incomparable, outspoken Tom King. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
Oh, man, I am doing wonderful on this June 16th to do our Raw June 15th review.
And you know what? It was a fantastic Raw that
Yeah.
night. It was a fantastic Raw. It took me back all the way back to the Attitude Era. So fantastic job.
Oh, yeah. Now, an interesting thing I'm noticing about Monday Night Raws recently. Uh, and
What's that?
including this episode, is that these there's been a slew or a string of Raws that have been really entertaining recently.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's kind of strange. It's a strange feeling, really. I'm not used to it being on a roll like this. But is it me or is it Raw is a little bit better than SmackDown?
You know, again,
Because I've
let's go
noticed
back
that
in
too.
time.
I've noticed that too.
Let me go back in time real quick. And I got to be honest with you, just to preface this, so
All
everybody
right.
knows, including you, you know where my
All
thought
right.
process is. Okay, when Raw first, or when SmackDown
Right.
first went to the new season in January, when they really started us, all the new NXT call-ups, I was big on SmackDown. I still am. Don't get me wrong. There's still some stuff on SmackDown that I like better than Raw. However, from an objective standpoint,
Right.
SmackDown's kind of just became, and Raw, as of late, has really become something to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. And now, speaking of Raw, let's talk about what let down that night.
Sure. So we open the show with Roman Reigns entering the building. Of course, getting out. This is what we see usually on Monday Night Raw. Last couple of Raws, Roman will start the show. We see the Roman coming in, and either Adam Pearce joins him. Tonight he didn't for this episode of Raw,
Right.
but he gets the title. He meets up with the twins. He meets up with Jacob. He gets the gang together, and out come the Bloodline to the ring. We get the fireworks. We get everything in between, all the theatrics surrounding the tribal chief. But there's one thing I've been noticing about the Bloodline is that there's always tension, and that's kind of what I want to touch on. Of course, there's been clear tension
Mm,
between Jacob Fatu and the Usos,
right.
since joining the Bloodline. But that's what I want to correct me if I'm wrong, Tom.
Mm.
Before this episode of Raw, was Jacob not already in the Bloodline? Right.
Here's the thing about Jacob. Right. Okay. Well, here's the thing about Jacob. Now, it leads to this point, right up to where they get into the ring. Roman cuts his promo. He leads to Jacob, calls out the ref or whoever brings out that wooden box and pulls out a Ulafala and puts it on Jacob and says, "You're no longer an outsider." And you're right. I can't, as I think about it, I can't really understand why is that is, because he was already in the bloodline. But I think it's because Jacob, again, feels like an outsider. And now he's acknowledged not as an outsider. Now
Okay.
he's
And no,
officially a
and that's
part of the
fair.
bloodline,
I appreciate you articulating that for me
officially
because,
part of the family.
yeah, maybe I needed that articulation. I appreciate it. And so anybody else watching, I mean, if you share Tom's thoughts and articulation, please put it down in the comments and help me to understand this because I thought he was already in, but I guess because he had
Well,
to,
you think about
maybe
it, he
it had to be
considered himself.
spelt out for him. Hey, I'm going to acknowledge you
Right.
officially, give you, as LA Knight would say, in Oopalapa. I'm gonna give this to you to signify that you're not an outsider. You may have been an outsider, a part of us, but no. You are now on the inside. And I'm like, so we needed a whole
Inside.
celebration ceremony segment to put him in? Okay.
Well, if you think about it, it's the way of Samoans, how they do it. They will accept, somebody in their tribe by ceremony. And I think that's what it was. Him being
Okay.
finally acknowledged through the ceremony. It was,
Okay.
he started in the bloodline, but
Yeah.
wasn't he part of Solo's bloodline and not Roman's? So therefore, he didn't really acknowledge Solo's bloodline. He never did. So he now acknowledges
Okay.
Jacob a part of his bloodline.
Okay.
So it makes sense. The whole ceremony and everything.
So we get the official crowning moment, I guess, or the official serenation, if you will, of Jacob Fatu into the bloodline, officially now on the inside. So we get the pose. We get a little bit of seemingly reluctancy from the Usos in the background, of course. Them, when they're the
Mhm.
last one, the ones up as they usually, And as they're exiting the ring, Roman looks over to ringside, and there is comedian and actor Eric Andre, and Roman gives him hey. Jay walks by him and kind of snuffs him and gives him the cold shoulder. Jimmy's like, "Oh, brother, no,
Right.
yeah, I see you, Oos. We're good, Oos." And then Jacob walks by. This is where the segment I went, okay,
He-
here we go. Eric
He'll
Andre, Eric Andre, he reaches out and kind of gives a little fluff, if you will, a little, oh, hey, that's a nice thing you got there. How are we cool?
and you know what?
And Jacob just grabs him and goes on to annihilate Eric Andre.
I mean, he mauled Eric Andre.
Yeah,
And Eric Andre made a fatal mistake. He touched it. He touched the Ulafala or whatever it's called.
the
You know,
Ufalafa.
he touched Ufalafa. Yeah.
As
He
LA
calls
Knight
it
would
the
say, the
Ufalafa.
Ufalafa.
He calls it the Ufalafa. Well, LA Knight calls it Ufalafa. I'm going to call it the Ufalafa.
Yeah,
He touches the Ufalafa. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah,
to a Samoan, the Ufalafa is sacred. He touched a
yeah,
sacred item around probably one of the most dangerous Samoans I've ever seen in a very long time.
yeah.
Within 15 years, maybe.
I think
No,
you
not
and I can
15,
both
maybe
say.
about 12, 10
I think we
years.
can both say that was a horrible mistake.
Oh, yeah. And he got
So,
mauled.
Jacob throws him in the ring. We get Sean Navari, Hurricane Helms, Shane Helms. We get Adam Pearce. We get the whole locker room chat. Jason Jordan, all the producers. Hey, don't do this and don't calm down, Jacob. Jacob ascends to the top
To
rope,
the top
and
rope.
Roman gets up there and says, "Hey, no, don't."
No, don't
He's
do it.
talking to
Don't
Adam
do it.
Pearce. So don't do it. No, don't. Jacob starts to get down. And then Roman and we see just squashes Eric Andre. The note that I took here, though, here's the interesting note. And here's another wrinkle within the story. Roman shows that he has control over Jacob. He listened to him, and and Jacob said, "Okay, I acknowledge you. There is some control that he has over Jake, and that's an interesting thing. That's an interesting story beat there.
And you know what?
And they get out of the ring. They get out of the ring, and Roman goes, "Hit it one more time,"
One
and
more
he hits him
time.
again with a splash.
Yeah. He tells him one more time and he hits it again. I mean, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Jacob Fatu is underneath Roman's control. And
And
you know what?
again, I hope not. I'm still hoping not.
Well, if he is, I think, man, I have to say I'm wrong. I might be wrong on this one.
And hey, that's okay. I might be wrong too. I might be wrong. I
If
might be
in
wishful
this
thinking there.
in this case, what I think is going to really happen now is Jacob Fatu is going to be is officially a part of the bloodline,
Yeah,
which means Roman has the most dangerous Samoan family member of all time in the business right now.
yeah, he does.
Jacob Fatu is an animal.
Yeah,
He's not human. He's an animal. He is a wild werewolf, Samoan werewolf. And if he did that to Eric Andre, who's just a simple comedian, imagine what Roman is going to do with him. Just
and
imagine what he's going to do with him, man.
now of course, Tom. I don't know if you saw the report, but I'm sure everybody else who out there is watching has seen this report. Came out this morning. I saw that, of course, or I think last night, that of course the involvement of Eric Andre was simply a promotion tie-in deal because him and John Cena are going to be a part of Step Brothers, which is premiering on Netflix soon. So Eric Andre's involvement in
Yep.
this segment. Unfortunately, he was a casualty in story, but of course it was a promotional deal to hey, we got a new thing coming on Netflix, and they. But of all the segments, no. He could have no. Here's the thing. He could have been in a Danhausen segment. No,
No.
no. They had him squashed by Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, oh, maybe. No, 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 no. Oh, maybe that. No. They
No.
had him in the segment of Raw. The Bloodline
Yeah. Yeah.
squashed.
And you know what? It could have gone any better,
Oh yeah.
really. It really couldn't have gotten any better than that. But then you have the next segment, the next match, the first match of the night.
This one kind of hurt, Tom. I'm gonna be honest, it kind of hurt.
Did it?
It hurt. This is a
Why did it
sad
hurt?
moment for me.
Come on. Come on.
But you lead us in. Lead us into this segment, Tom. Into this match.
Okay.
The second round, Queen of the Ring semifinals, right?
Yep. Io and Raquel in the finals. And Io Sky, ladies and gentlemen, is now in the semifinals.
Yeah. So this is a semifinal match with Io. After, of course, moving off in the first round, and Raquel, of course, both win their respective matches. Look. I'm an Io Sky fan. I'm sure you are. Tom, are you an Io Sky fan?
I'm a huge Io Sky fan, man. I'm a huge Io Sky fan. Let me tell you, I'm so glad that she won and she's gone
Yeah.
over to the next round. I really am. And you know, honestly, I know you're
Yeah, she's going
upset,
on to
man.
the finals.
Listen, I know you're upset. I know you're upset. But it's her time. It's her time to win it. And you know, she might not even win it. Jade Card, we still got Jade Cargill.
No, we got Charlotte Flair. No, the next one is Liv. It's between Liv Morgan and Charlotte. Jade
Oh,
Cargill's
Liv
already out.
Morgan and Charlotte. Oh,
Yeah.
God darn it.
And here's the thing, man, is this is what I can't get over. You had Raquel Rodriguez right there, a world title, and you didn't. Whatever. I'm over that. So maybe I'm just coping and biased, but don't get me wrong. I love Io Sky. Big Io Sky fan. If she goes on to win this, great. Which, by the way, here's my note, just so everybody knows I'm not just being a hater. Now that Raquel did the job for Io, I'm now rooting for Io Sky is my pick at this point. But of course, Io and Raquel, anytime they work, they have great chemistry, awesome
Right.
chemistry between these two. Raquel got a little bit of color. I don't know if you saw it. There was a little bit of blood from the nose and the
Yeah,
lip.
she got
It's a little bit,
she got a little busted up there.
a little busted up. Nothing too bad. She wiped it away and she was good. I wrote. I mean, my final note. I was pulling for Raquel Rodriguez because I mean, when she came out, she acknowledged that crown and she kind of did this, and I was like, "It's please," but no, no.
They are, you know, again, they have Io Sky go over, and I'm glad they did. You know, I think she deserves it, and she hasn't won anything really big in a very long time. You know, what the biggest thing that she did was her title reign.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Io Sky, dude. Again, I remember at a time when Io Sky was world women's champion. What, last year? They did.
Yeah.
She was in catering. They did nothing with her.
Well, that's the
Do you
problem.
remember
Again,
that?
that was a year ago. You know,
I hope
that's
they do
when.
something that. Okay, if Io Sky is going to go on to get this title shot, I hope they do something with it. I really do.
I do too. I mean, last time it was a flop, but yeah, I think that was more of like she could get herself over, or you know, creative, you know,
Yeah.
decided, hey, you know, to give her shot, just to give her shot to please the fans.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, but I think this time she really does deserve it, and I'm hoping, like you, I'm hoping they do something with it if she goes
Yeah,
over and
no,
wins.
yeah, no, me too, for sure. I mean, I really hope so, man. So, Tom, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
LA Knight. I again, we move on to our backstage segment. This is the first LA Knight segment of the night, and we see Adam Pearce talking to Lyra Valkyria, actually. Which, by the way, quick note before we get into LA Knight, Lyra Valkyria finally pushed Adam Pearce enough, and she got her and Bailey a women's tag team title shot next week in London
Yeah,
against Bailey
yeah.
against Paige Brie Bella, which is good. Soon as Lyra Valkyria walks away, I wrote down from one interesting character to the next because we get LA Knight. Yeah, I gotta put on my phone finger for this one
Let's
because
talk about
I gotta put on my phone finger for this one because you know what? I'm kind
Let's
of thinking
talk.
to myself.
Let's talk to you, folks.
Let me talk to you. I gotta think to myself. I, every LA Night segment, every LA Night segment, I write down a bunch of points because LA Night gives me a bunch of shit to talk about. Excuse my language. Gives me a bunch of crap to talk about. I love how LA Knight was so straightforward in this, right to
Right.
the point. I mean, the sarcasm. Are you sure about this? This is what I'm seeing. Well, man, I saw Solo. Man, isn't that great how he's right conveniently back into the scene? Are you really? Are you sure? You weren't talking. How about your long hard talk with Roman with about the ones and the twos
The
and
ones and the twos.
the ones and the twos and the blah blah blah. And I love LA Knight's just his slap in the face. He's slapping Adam in the face with this disrespect, sarcasm. I love it.
Right.
And LA Knight, I mean, it's a short segment. It's nothing long. It's nothing drawn out. It's short, quick, and to the point. We already know the shtick. And he pretty much says, "Hey, I'm doing this my way. I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do it the LA Knight way." Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on this?
You know, yeah, I do. I'm quite not surprised that he was going to do that because this is LA Knight. He is
Yeah.
now again, like I've been saying, he is the Stone Cold figure,
Mm,
the Rock
yeah.
figure of this era. So it's not
Uh huh.
surprising that he's going to take that to the max, and
Yeah.
he's just going to do what he wants, regardless of
And that's the
what
thing is,
Adam Pearce
is
says.
it gonna take? Is it gonna take LA Knight to do it his way for anything to get done?
It might. It really might. Again, I see LA Knight being the one to push Adam Pearce to his max. I really
Yeah.
do. I see the man to be I see him being the man to do it, especially with his, I don't give a damn attitude. I'm gonna do what I want. Which brings us to the next thing. Well, his promo, right? In the ring.
I wait. I wait. Well, is it right after that, or is Chad or Rusev next? I think.
I think I think Chad and Rusev was up next.
I didn't really have many notes. I mean, we'll kind of skim through this one. I didn't really have many notes per se for this one
Well,
for Chad
about
and
Chad
Rusev.
Gable, man, it's
Oh
about
yeah, well yeah.
time that he
I was talking about.
uses. I mean, it's about time he uses the angle slam.
And he did. He did.
And he did. It did. And he used the ankle lock.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that, again, all ego, being that he is, interfered in Chad's victory. Because obviously, Chad went over, he won
Yeah.
with an
I
ankle
was like,
lock.
yes.
And,
Ego.
ego, interrupts the celebration. And here comes Ray and I believe Phoenix,
Dragon
right?
Lee.
Dragon Lee and Ray come in and,
I can't tell him apart yet.
again, they brawl. They brawl, and here comes the Street Profits. They come out, they start brawling with the Street Profits, and Chad Gable is basically accepted by Ray and Dragon Lee. And then just, again, Chad Gable just destroys people.
Oh yeah,
That angle
Chad
slam.
Gable. I love that they've inserted Chad Gable into the intercontinental mid card scene right here, where he's kind of
Yeah.
looming, he's kind of building. But one thing we didn't cover, and you might have missed it, Chad Gable has a new theme song.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Again, he has a new theme song.
I didn't notice that.
He did, and here's the reason why I noticed it is because last week, when he made the run in save on Ethan and Rusev last week that set this matchup, he came out to his 2016 or his NXT Alpha Academy one. Remember when he was tagging with Jason Jordan?
Right.
He came
So,
out to that theme song.
okay,
And
which
dude,
brings
the
me
internet.
to this conclusion. Remember last week on Raw, Ray said there's someone else you need to ask to forgiveness. Heel, who do you think he needs to ask? After he came out to the Alpha Academy theme. It's Otis.
I don't know, Tom. You tell me. Who is it? I don't know.
He has to apologize to the Alpha Academy. That's
Rusev
who he
and
needs to
Akira
apologize to.
Tozawa. Yes.
Exactly.
Mainly Otis. Mainly Otis.
Mainly Otis. He needs to apologize to Otis, and I think that's exactly who they were talking about.
And by the way, you might have missed this too. After he
Which
gets interviewed by
means-
Kathy Kelly, after he gets interviewed by I think it might have been Jackie Redmond or Kathy, either one. When he walks away, who do we see him pass up on the way to the ring? Maxine Dupree, and Austin Theory.
Maxine. Now, my question to you is Heel, are we going to see a reunite of Alpha Academy with Chad Gable, Otis,
I
and the
hope
rest of
not.
them?
I
You
hope
don't.
not.
You hope not.
No.
It
I think
might.
that's something. I think that it would look.
Now,
Alpha
I'm not
Academy.
saying it will happen. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Personally, my answer is no. Unfortunately, I
No,
don't want to see it because I think that the momentum and what Chad's coming off of, that might
it's
put a
too
damper.
much.
I think
You
him
think so?
I
Yeah,
think him
I wouldn't.
apologizing, simply apologizing and having that character development is enough.
Right. For character development, no. I think that,
Yeah.
logically no, but like do you think we can see that at all? I don't think we do. I'm
I'll put it this
hoping
way, if
it's one of those where he just forgives, he asks for the forgiveness, they forgive each other and then they move on, but
I think I mean, okay, the only way I can see that is if they do nothing with it, if they don't capitalize on this Chad Gable, the momentum he has now after AAA, if they don't capitalize on this momentum, then if that's all they can do with him, then I'm gonna be pounding my head. I'm just gonna be
I'm right with you, man. I'm right with you. I'm
like,
right
no.
with you.
So,
I'm right with you, but it's kind of a scary thought to think of that might be a possibility.
yeah, yes. You know what's another scary thought? Jey Uso promos. Because boy, our next segment is our boy, LA Knight. Yeah, well, hold on one second. Wait 1 second. I gotta really quick for this one again. Home finger.
You know what,
Really?
folks? Let me
Yeah,
talk to you. With this segment,
yeah.
I was shocked with Jey Uso's mic skills.
I was too.
I'm not
I
gonna
was
lie.
too. Okay, listen. Here's the note I wrote down, and I think we're on the same page here. Let me know if you have this down too. I like how Jay came across as serious here. He came across as serious, lower tone, conviction in the vocal cords that I can deal with. When Jay does this stuff and he's like, "Hey,
It's
listen, I'm just
great.
telling you, he not warning shot, bang, no." When he comes across as serious like this, I can sympathize with him.
When he has the pure emotion and the frustration, the anger, this is where he's at his best.
Yes,
I'd like to,
yes,
if
hundred
he
percent.
continues to bring this to the table,
Yeah, yeah,
he'll be in my favor.
yeah. Now, when the segment starts, of course, we get the LA Night entrance. We get the crowd pops again, probably the loudest pop of the night. By the way, hold on 1 second, because something we completely forgot, and I should have wrote this down. The crowd in where were we tonight? Baltimore. We were in Baltimore, dude.
Baltimore.
The Baltimore crowd, not bad, dude. They were
You know
alive
what?
for
It's
being in the states. It was a good
for
crowd.
being in the States, it was a good crowd. Being in the States,
Yeah, it was a
you
good
know,
crowd, dude.
but they're coming next to Saturday, Friday nights, Kansas.
And
That Kansas crowd,
that's a turf that you know all too well, my friend.
that Kansas crowd's gonna be on fire, and especially if it's in Kansas City, that crowd's gonna be on fire,
I believe it's in
guarantee it.
it's either in Topeka or it's in Kansas City.
And then it's in Kansas City, and I'm pissed that I can't go.
Hey, man, you know why? No, I'll tell you why you can't go, because of the ticket prices. That's why.
Yeah. Let's talk about those ticket prices
In another
another day.
episode. No, I'm kidding.
Another day.
Yeah,
No,
another day.
I will talk about those ticket prices. Those are
So of
outrageous.
course, Baltimore, they blow up for LA Night like I'm doing in my living room, like everybody's doing in my bedroom. I'm popping for LA Night.
Oh,
He
of
comes
course.
out, and the first thing he does is he reiterates to Baltimore. He shows Baltimore some love, and he lays down in the middle of the ring. And
Yep.
I was like, I like when a wrestler almost CM Punk esque, because remember when Punk used to sit down?
Yep.
There was the body language with LA Knight when he laid down and he's like, "Man, this is how how I looked on SmackDown on Friday." And it made when he did that, when he laid down and was like he's rubbing it and showing, "Look, this is what all I am, right? And he says, no, don't worry, I call friends, I call family, whatever. Hey, LA Knight, hey Knight, man, take Raw off. Don't go in. No, 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 no. I gotta get to Baltimore. And he reiterates this. And again, straightforward, meaningful. This segment overall, here's my note for the whole entire segment. The Jacob interference, the J promo, LA Knight, everything. When it came to LA Knight specifically in this promo, it felt like this made a little more sense. It was a little more zoomed in on LA Knight. It felt like something is about to happen finally within this promo. Now, I went, oh man, LA Knight's not helping himself. If he's trying to take a shot somewhere at somebody backstage by just, oh hey, this is all I am. Like pretty much this is it. I'm laying. Look, you want me to lay down? I'll lay down. I'll show you what I was. I was like, uh oh. So we get Jay coming out, or Jimmy. No, I'm sorry, we get Jimmy coming out first, and he's like, look, man, we're not running with Solo, because he reminds him, hey, I remember Solo being, got the spike. How convenient. And you're telling me that if I go after Solo and drop him on his head, you and your brother won't come after me to save your family member?
And Jay
Jimmy
looks at him.
Jimmy hesitates and says no.
Yeah.
Now, I think to myself, okay, I was surprised when he said that. I was surprised that he is denying that Solo. We know the answer, obviously. We know
Right.
outside time, outside their universe, that yes, it's not the viewer knows this. But LA, the character, does not. He sees it the other way around, which creates an interesting dynamic.
Right. It does create a very interesting dynamic.
It does. Ultimately, Jay's like, look, man, I'm serious with you. We're not this, and that, but LA, I'm better than you. I took you out of the King of the Ring, and all I want you to do is acknowledge me.
Let's talk about that for a second. And I don't mean to cut you off, but let's talk about that for a second.
How Jay Uso's better than LA Knight, sure, I guess.
When he said and looked him straight in the eyes and said, I am better than you, my jaw hit the floor. Because the simple fact of this, are you better than LA in the ring?
Nah,
on the mic?
Nah.
Nah. And then, like you said, like you wrote down in your notes, LA acknowledges Jey Uso. This is where it gets interesting. Both these men have the charisma with each other like I have not seen in years.
They do have great charisma and chemistry with each other. I do like it. I do.
In my brain, I see these two, LA Knight specifically, bringing attitude back into the.
I think you mentioned this in a prior episode. I think, yeah.
And I've mentioned this in a prior episode before. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that they're going right back into where the attitude used to be. In your face, honest conversations, backstage segments, promos like this, getting personal, getting down to it, having matches that are on fire, pleasing the crowd. This is what I, as a wrestling fan, want.
So you want to bring Vince Russo back? Got it.
Absolutely not. I want the spark that it had back, like it used to have, and it's starting to get that spark again.
Fair point.
Which is fantastic.
So when LA Knight acknowledges Jay, and he says, "Well, you can kiss my ass." That gets Jay riled up. There's a brawl. He gets Jimmy out of the way. Jay gets the takedown, starts to beat on him. LA Knight reverses and gets a super kick from his brother to protect Jay, obviously. And Jay's like, look, man, it didn't have to be this way. I was just telling you, it didn't have to be that way. LA Knight gets the upper hand, an opportunity to recover, takes a steel chair that Jay grabbed, by the way, hits them, and out comes none other than Jacob Fatu and gives LA Knight the Tongan death grip to paralyze LA Knight to end the segment. Look, in my mind, my first initial reaction was, "Oh, there goes LA Knight going down again at the hands of the Bloodline. Again. Again, he's one step behind." But then again, I kept thinking, I was like, "You know what? Maybe they're onto something here. Maybe LA Knight, maybe the WWE." Again, this segment, when I really thought about it, it kind of felt more meaningful or more LA Knight driven. It felt
You
LA
know,
Knight focused.
honestly, I think I think LA is starting now to
Get a little bit of
get
traction.
get the attraction he once had again.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said in prior episode, he needs to have more segments. He needs to have more TV time because without TV time, you get no attraction. If you're not
And you
seen,
get no
you're not
traction
heard.
either. You get no traction, period.
I mean, well, we'll talk about that in Gorilla.
Yes, we will. Oh yeah, we got it. I
We will
can't wait for
talk
this
about
episode of
that in
Gorilla,
Gorilla,
man.
my sir, because there's a lot to talk about in Gorilla, folks. Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to
So
LA Knight.
yeah, it felt
It felt like an Attitude Era like segment.
it did.
Again,
It feel
they are
okay.
bringing
Here's
back
the
the
thing.
spice.
I see. I 100% see what you're saying here. I won't say again. It's we all know obviously that won't the attitude Era will never come back, but there can be
No,
pieces
but
and
I'm not saying,
pieces of it for
I'm not
sure.
saying they're gonna bring it back
Yeah,
directly. What I'm
but
saying
that
is they're
spice.
putting the spice back into the WWE, and
I
which is
like it.
what the WWE needs. It needs that spice. It back in the day, it had spice. It got stale because no salt or pepper was added. We had nothing
Oh
but
no, but wait,
sugar.
no. But recently we had dog food. If you know, you know.
Well, listen,
If you know, you know.
if you know, you know, but we've had dog food and crap for several years
Man,
because the
tell me
cooks
about it.
and the cooks in the kitchen couldn't cook worth the damn. Now they're starting to add spices. And when you add spices, it becomes good food.
It does.
And Jay and LA Knight bring spice to their food.
Yep.
That's the
No,
way
and they
I'm going to
do.
describe it.
They absolutely do, and you're right. They just bring a lot of spice. You know what? I didn't feel a lot of spice in our following matchup. Oh no! By the way, before we get into that, after we get back from commercial break, we see Jacob and talking to the twins, and Jacob's like, "Look, man, let's keep it 100. Your way didn't work, and your way did not work. I
Yeah,
did the OTC way, and look what
and
happened. It
it
was taken
worked.
care of, bam, like that.
Let's talk
That's
about Jacob
interesting.
Fatu.
That's interesting. So
Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk
yes,
about Jacob Fatu, man. Like I said before, this man is an animal. He's on fire. That backstage segment, it caught my eye for one reason. Not only is the bloodline back, but again, I was wrong. Jacob Fatu is stepping in line with Roman. It's just proving more that Roman is just listening to just Roman. He's not
yeah.
listening to what Jay says. He doesn't care what Jimmy says. He only listens to one person, his tribal chief. And that's it.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Wait.
And to me, that's all that segment proves to me is that he belongs to Roman now.
The
He's
ones in the twos.
He is Roman's instrument of destruction. And Roman now realized he could use Jacob Fatu as an instrument of his destruction of his own. And this
Yep.
is what's going to happen, folks. Get ready because it's going to be one heck of a roller coaster with Jacob Fatu. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This
No,
is
we're
just
in
the
for some good
start
TV.
this is going to be a start of a huge flame that's about to be ignited.
I can see this going into Survivor Series War Games in November.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I would love to see them in War Games.
Yeah. Me too.
But let's go on to the next segment.
So, like I said earlier, there wasn't too much spice with this next match. I kind of saw it as a little bit of filler, and I hate to say that because I love both the talent in this match. But we get Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair. Before we get to this match, one segment that we need to talk about, I think it'll be an interesting one for you, was the precursor to this match, which we saw earlier tonight. Liv Morgan goes to none other than Danhausen, and she pulls the up on the on the counter,
She feels his
unzipped, wearing the
shoulder.
Danhausen shirt, and he's like, "Ooh,
I
him
hope
and
you
money.
paid for that.
Hope
And
you pay
he
for that.
looks
Oh,
at
look,
her,
here's
and
my
goes, "I
human
hope you
teeth.
pay for that."
Here's my human teeth."
But he just looks at it and goes, "I hope you pay for that." She starts rubbing his shoulders, flirting with him. He goes, "Oh, my human teeth." It's Liv Morgan that was such a Jersey girl thing to do, to be the flirt, trying to get what she wants through the flirting. It is such a thing to do. I've
And
seen it all the
and here's the
time.
thing. Here's the thing
And I'm
is,
not knocking Jersey girls. I'm from Jersey myself.
yeah, he
So,
is.
and let me tell you, it's just she's from Jersey, man, and I did not expect anything else. But with Danhausen, man, again, comedy gold.
Now the
I
logic,
never say
now
less. Comedy
obviously
gold.
the logic behind this is that Liv Morgan went to Danhausen
Mhm.
so that she could curse Obafemi, so Dom would
Mhm.
go over.
Yep.
As we will get to later on, that's not exactly how it went, but we'll get there. So we get Charlotte Flair and Roxanne Perez. I did you I did my only note for this really is that nice little, it was a kind of a filler match, unfortunately. Roxanne's trying to soften up Charlotte for, next week on Friday for Liz Morgan's match in the Queen of the Ring tournament. The only thing that really stood out to me in this match, and again, I'm trying to have some fruit to chew on here. It was a great counter from the pop to finish the match. Was the Pop Rocks countered into the figure eight, and we get the tap. Do you have any
Yep.
notes, Tom, on this? I mean, other than
Honestly, I that was a really good counter.
it
Like
was.
with that, it was. I'll give it to Flair. She knows how to wrestle. I mean, honestly, she's a Flair.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what? I know I'm not a huge Charlotte Flair. Everyone knows by now, should know by now if you watch this.
You're the
I'm
biggest
not a
Charlotte Flair
Charlotte.
fan I know.
I am the biggest Charlotte Flair. No, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Charlotte Flair. And I have to give it to her. That was a really good reversal into the
It was.
figure eight.
It was.
But she wins with the help of Alexa Bliss. But I want to add a note, Hale. I want to add a note.
Yes, sir.
The recognition that they're giving Bliss with her little video segment that they gave her,
Oh yeah,
talking about
NXT
how her
Origins.
career, how she developed. How smart was that?
Well, I mean, they've been doing. If you've been watching, if you've seen and paid attention enough, for sure, they've had NXT Origin segments, and I mean,
Right.
but this particular one for Bliss might have been the best they've done.
Okay.
Out of all the NXT Origin stuff, this might have been the best one.
I agree. I agree. And, it's about time they give this girl her due too. Her recognition. Because
I
she's
wouldn't
been
mind
with the
Bliss.
company for quite some time.
I unfortunately see from this point on, I don't see Bliss having any world titles, Queen of the
No,
Ring,
I
Money in the
don't.
Bank.
Sadly. I
I,
don't.
I see
But
I see her being just a good gatekeeper in the division and helping the next
again,
generations.
and you know what? That may be the case, and it doesn't matter to me. It's good that they gave her some recognition like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, yes, of course. Well, I'll tell you who they're giving recognition to, other than Alexa Bliss, is right now we got a Javon Evans promo. Come
Oh,
down to the ring.
wow.
Come down to the ring.
Bouncy.
And you know what, dude? I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad they gave Javon Evans a little talking time. I actually like
Yeah.
the way he came across. I
And
do. I
his
liked it.
mic skills, can I say, his mic skills are actually
Not
getting a lot
bad.
better. They're
They're
getting a lot
getting better.
better.
He's getting
They're getting a lot better.
at first you saw the kind of immature kid
Right.
in
Right.
Javon. Javon's a big kid. We all know Javon's a big teenage kid. We love
He's
that
a
at
young
heart.
man. He's a young
He's a
man.
young man. He's got the kid at heart, and he's bouncy kid. He kicks back. He's in his own world.
But
But
he
this,
can
even
show
though it
he
was
has a
short,
serious side.
yeah, and I like that. I do.
Now he
I
can
like
show this.
Javon. I do.
Again.
I like the way he came across. But he talks about, hey, pretty much what could have been, what could be in the
Right.
King of the Ring tournament until we get the return of humble Logan Paul, baby.
Logan made a quick. You know what? I give it to Logan. He made a speedy recovery. He made a good recovery. He made a quick
And well,
recovery.
he's still a corpse. I mean, I don't. The projection on that injury, I think that they're just gonna have him doing like non-physical managerial stuff for
Right,
the
right.
division because
But it's not.
that injury right there. I mean, I think it's projected he's gonna be out for like 8 months. He's
Well,
gonna be out for a
yeah.
long
Oh,
time.
yeah. Well, I
He's
didn't.
been out for a
You know,
while.
he made his comeback. I mean, I'm sure he didn't. Do anything physical, and I knew he wasn't because again,
Yeah,
good
I
eye.
mean
He did have that
he
sling.
might he might take a shove, as a light shove maybe, but nothing
But
too big.
are you surprised that he made a comeback last night on Raw?
Oh yeah, I didn't expect it. Oh yeah, I was like,
Honestly,
what? I was like,
honestly,
what?
I did not expect it. I did
I
not
didn't either.
expect to see Logan.
I didn't. I I thought we were just gonna see Austin Theory.
Yeah. As soon as I heard the Visions music, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here comes Baldy. And then I see Logan
So
Paul. And I'm like, okay, Logan.
so we get the Vision coming down to talk to Javon Evans, and something I also didn't see coming, and I'm just like, okay, that's how we got to this match, which I didn't hate it, but I understand. They do not ask, they tell Javon Evans, yo,
You're a part of the Vision.
you're a part of the Vision now. Like we're not telling you, we're asking you. And if you're, it's one of those things. Okay, you're not with us, then you're against us. We get the match, and I like how Javon. Again, this is where Javon's my skill. He's like, hell no. Oh, okay, I see where this is going. Takes off the shirt. Okay, let me get a referee. Let's do this now.
Let's
And
get
I
a
was like,
ref and let's do this right now. And you know what? It
I,
happens.
I like
It
that.
happens.
I like how
It's great.
Javon was
I
snippy
like
with
when
it.
they do that. I like when they do
Yes,
that stuff. It's good and
yes.
it's entertaining. And let's talk about what happened in that match, yo. You're better than doing that than I am. I'll be honest.
Of course, we get a good red dot. We get a good red dot kick from him. Two young performers that I mean had pretty decent chemistry. Wasn't gonna lie, wasn't the best, but it wasn't
Absolutely.
bad.
It
You
was good
know.
chemistry.
Um. Now the one thing I did kind of take a note on of in ring was Javon was trying to get this thing over. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Done that before. I don't. He's trying to get it over.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually one of my notes. He's trying to get something over. Now, I'm not too sure if he's
Yeah.
did it before in the past, but he's obviously trying to get something over. And you know what? I like it. I dig it. It's easy to do side to side. I dig it. It's something new. It's
It's
something
just it's
different.
an it's something new, something different. He's probably worked maybe with one of the agents backstage and said, "Hey, how about you try this?" I don't
Or
know.
maybe he
Maybe
did it
you're
on his
watching a
own.
different. Maybe I'm watching a different show than you are, and then that's fine. I don't think that, and then you got to give it time. But I don't think that got a very good reaction. That
Again, I never
wasn't.
said it did. I never said it did. It got my reaction because again, I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sucker.
yeah,
I'm a sucker for things like that. If you can get the
brother.
crowd going,
And and hey, I'm not gonna knock you. Hey, look, as this podcast goes on, you'll see I'm a sucker for the stupidest shit.
listen,
I'm a
listen.
sucker for horrible crap.
Listen, just because they're not doing it in the crowd doesn't mean somebody or a little kid is doing it at home.
That's true.
He's
That
not
is
really
true.
doing
Yes.
it. He's not really doing it for the adult fans. He's doing it for the children fans. And what I saw was a lot of kids doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I saw the kids doing this.
I saw some kid. Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
doing something to get the kids over, which is smart. Get the kids over first, then the adults. That's smart. That's
Oh
really
yeah.
smart.
Yeah. Eventually, the adult. I saw one or two adults. I'm saying in terms of what I think he was aiming for. Me, I was like,
Okay.
eh,
Let me put it in this perspective. If you get the kid's attention, the parent's gonna start doing it with the kid. Now you got the adult doing
yeah,
it.
they will. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a monkey see, monkey do factor, and I'm telling you, give it time. If he keeps doing it, it might go over. We might start
It
seeing
might.
people
They definitely might go over.
pointing side to side. I mean, look
But
how
you know
long
what
it
did
took
go
EO
over?
to get this over. Look how long it took her to get this over. It took her quite a while to get this over.
That is true.
Because
That is
everybody
true.
looked at her like this when she was doing it. But then people started loving it. It's the same concept,
No,
brother.
yeah, that's true.
It's the same concept. Give it time, and that people are going to start doing the Javon Evans side to side.
I'll tell you what. If I start doing it, I will pay you human monies.
And you won't get cursed, I promise.
Thank you very much. But I'll tell you who was
Well,
cursed.
yes.
Apparently, Javon Evans was cursed because boy, Braun Breaker comes out of nowhere and
boy.
spears Javon Evans out of the air. Poor Javon Evans.
Can we talk about that spear just for a split
Go
second?
ahead.
Let's
Go
talk
ahead.
about that spear. What an outstanding tackle of a spear that was, man. Out of complete nowhere. I jumped out of my seat when I saw that. I was not expecting, it was such out of nowhere. Just Javon Evans goes to for the cutter and bow, out of nowhere, spears him in half.
Yeah,
Phenomenal
breaks that
job
kid in
by
half.
phenomenal job in Braun Breaker. Phenomenal.
But that triggers the return
The street of
of the Street Profits. Not Profits,
yes,
the Profits.
the Street
Angelo Dawkins.
Profits came back, ladies and gentlemen.
Angelo Dawkins is back. Looking jacked.
Very
Looking
much
good.
so. He got in shape good. He got in good shape.
Which we get the brawl. Ultimately, the segment and the brawl leads to what we now know will be a tag team title match next week for the tag titles on Raw
And you know
in
what?
London.
And you know what?
In
We
London.
might see the Street Profits once again have tag team gold. And I don't know about you. When's the last time we've seen the Street Profits hold tag team gold, my friend?
Oh, dude,
Brother,
it's been a while.
to me, it's been years.
I can't remember.
I'm honestly, if they don't go over, I will rip my hair out.
I'll hold you to that.
I will rip my hair out. And I'm talking
I will
fully.
help you.
I will rip my hair out. Because that was probably one of the biggest returns of the night. In
Well-
my opinion, in my humble opinion, that was the biggest return of the night. I was not expecting the Street Profits to reunite on Monday Night Raw.
In my not so humble opinion, you're gonna rip your hair out next week because there's no way that the Profits are going over. Sorry to tell you, my friend. No way.
You
No
know
way.
what? They're gonna go. I'm telling you, I want them to go over. There could be a case that they might have tag team gold.
I'll tell you what. If they win, I'll bet you. I'll send you some t-shirts. I'll send you some of my wrestling t-shirts in the mail. How about that?
Bet.
All right. So, you know what I was betting on, Tom?
Speaking of bets, what you betting on?
I was betting on. I think everybody was betting on Obafemi because our final match of the King of the Ring semifinal tournament. It's the semifinals. Our main event on Monday Night Raw, Tom. We have Obafemi taking on the King of los Sucios, the King of the Luchadors, the Dirties of the Dirties. Everybody's favorite mustache, Dominic Mysterio. Now, one guy pointed this out. I see on TikTok, and he's another wrestling content creator, of course, and he said, "What did this do for Oba? What did this do for Dom? You're telling me that the AAA Mega Champion got squashed, starched by Obafemi?" But
That's
in
exactly
my
what
perspective,
happened.
I think that that's what needed to happen.
Yeah. And you know what, folks? I'll admit this.
Go ahead.
I was wrong. I thought that we were going to see Brock Lesnar. Apparently, I was wrong. It was
And we
a good
didn't.
idea at the time. It sounded good at the time. Now,
paper.
I'm on paper. Now, I'm glad that it didn't happen because we got to see an absolute mauling from Oba. Did you see the way that Dirty Dom bounced each time he was slammed on that mat by Oba?
I did, but did you also see poor JD McDonough? Obafemi hit JD
That
like he owed him money.
That stupid fool thought it was a good idea to try to get himself involved with Oba, and they both got clotheslined and their heads taken off.
I love the way JD sells for Oba because he sells
absolutely.
he kills him.
JD, well, listen. Let's talk about JD selling.
Love
JD selling.
McDonough, dude.
I love JD McDonough too because he knows how to sell. That man is an absolute good seller. Absolutely, he could literally make anything look good. He can make a damn hold look good. The man's such a good seller, and he's learned so much from. He's learned a lot from Finn Balor. He's learned a lot.
The guy could sell a clothesline from a broomstick.
Oh, absolutely. He can sell a clothesline from a piece of paper. The
Oh yeah.
man's that, to me, he's that good of a seller. But again,
I mean, again, I wrote down in my notes. I wrote down in my notes in capital letters with an exclamation point. Poor JD.
right.
Just poor
But
JD McDonough,
the
dude.
fool, but the fool decided to get himself involved with a monster
Yeah.
like Obafemi. The ruler took both their heads off with a clothesline with ease.
I mean, it turned into a handicap match, and I'm not a long one because I mean, it didn't go long because Oba just demolished and squashed Dominic Mysterio. Now, of course, now Obafemi goes on to the King of the Ring finals next week. It will be between he'll face either Jey Uso or Javon Evans, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the promo afterward.
Let's
And
talk
Tom,
about the promo that Oba delivered. That outstanding promo he delivered, folks.
every time I see an Obafemi promo or he looks at me, I'll put it this way: there's so much conviction in an Obafemi promo when he looks at me down the camera like that, like when he's looking at me like
The emotion,
on Raw, I flinch because I'm that convicted. I'm like, damn.
the emotion that the man delivers in a promo when he looks at the hard can, it looks like it is like he is looking through your soul, like he is talking to you. Man, when he delivered that promo and mentioned Lesnar, I got goosebumps. I mean, I already had goosebumps as soon as he picked up the mic. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here's another one. Another banger. Here comes another banger. And I knew it was going to be a banger promo. The way he looked at the hard camera when he grabbed that mic, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
Now, of course, the contents of the promo
Uh,
was directed toward one Brock Lesnar.
Brock
And he's
Lesnar.
like, look, Brock. He's like, look, Brock. I know how I'm gonna be remembered. I'm gonna be remembered as the ruler,
Yep.
the mountain you cannot climb,
Yep.
and the future king of the ring. You're
And he
gonna be
mentioned
remembered.
himself as the future king of the ring. Like he's already predicted that he's got this match set in one, dude.
So an Ilya Taporia syndrome, if you know what I mean. Now, if you know, you know. Brock Lesnar. Of course, we see no Brock Lesnar, but Obafemi says, "Look, I'll be remembered for these things. You're going to be remembered as the guy who ran from Obafemi," and then we get the credits.
Yeah.
And that was our Monday Night Raw. Do we see Brock Lesnar next week? Do we see him in the King of the Ring finals?
You know what? If we don't see him in the King of the
know.
Ring final, if we do not see him in the King of the Ring finals, we will see him at the pay-per-view at Clash at Night of Champions. I believe we might see him at Night of Champions.
Now, here's the thing. The reason why I think that people are hesitant on Obafemi actually winning this thing is because Brock Lesnar's looming. Now,
Yeah.
could we do Roman and Oba at SummerSlam for the title? Yes, we could. We could do that. I wouldn't hate it, which they probably won't do, but I would not hate it if we just get. Obviously, we're going to get the trilogy, Brock and Oba 3, but I just don't know when it will happen. But it's rumored to happen
To be
at
honest,
SummerSlam.
it should be a SummerSlam match.
I wouldn't hate it if they do it later.
Again, I mentioned this before. I think that match alone deserves to be a SummerSlam match. One, Brock Lesnar again is known more for SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it makes more sense for him to show up at SummerSlam. Now, if he shows up at the King of the Ring tournament, Jey Uso's going over.
Yeah, and that's.
I hate to say it, but I think Javon's not going to go over with Jey. I think Jey might go over.
Man.
And we see.
Oh my God.
And we see Jey. Now, this is my prediction. And I could be wrong. It's just a prediction in my head I came up with. Don't knock it.
No, it's a spoiler.
It's just a spoiler. Listen, in my eyes, it's going to be Jay's going to go over. We're going to get Oba Jay. And if we don't see Brock at the tournament, which means Jay will go over and Jay becomes King of the Ring, we'll see Brock at Clash of not Clash. We see Brock at Night of Champions, and then we get the Oba 3 match at SummerSlam.
That's about how I see it going. Unfortunately, I've already kind of. I mean, I'm gonna. For those of you who
That's
follow me
one
over
way
on
they can do
TikTok,
it.
I'm gonna.
That's one way they can
I'm
do
gonna
it.
comment on this later. I've kind of already accepted a little bit in my heart that Jay's winning this. He's winning the
Now,
tournament.
that's one way they can do it.
I've unfortunately accepted that reality.
That's one way they can do it. Another way they do it is they just have Oba win it, the entire thing. He meets the champion Roman at Night of Champions, and that's
Yes.
when we see Brock at Night of Champions.
Or a third option, which if they had the balls, they would do. No, I'm just kidding. At fantasy booking here, we have Javon Evans versus Roman Reigns for the World Championship.
Right. Which is not likely.
It's about this likely.
Yeah, slim to none. So we
Yeah,
might see
no.
either Oba or Jay win the tournament.
Yeah. Well, Tom, with that being said, I think we covered all the segments, all the hot spots, all the bullet points from Monday Night Raw for June 15th.
Yeah,
You know what? Entertaining Raw. Overall, it was an
very
entertaining
good,
episode of Raw.
entertaining Raw. It was a
Yeah.
very, Raw delivered. As though,
It did.
again, like you mentioned, Raw seems as though they've been delivering quite a bit. And if
If
they
Raw
keep this up,
Yeah.
not just for certain pay-per-views, but for every single pay-per-view they have, for every night they do this,
Yep.
the WWE possibly will be on the map once again. Not saying that they fell, but let's be honest, folks, they haven't delivered like this in a very long time.
And you know what? I will say that if the WWE delivers, we will deliver, as we do for every week of our Monday Night Raw reviews, in Gorilla, SmackDown reviews, and an NXT review coming up very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, Tom, if you're ready, I'm ready to sign off. My name is Heel
Absolutely,
Harrison,
folks.
and this is the incomparable, outspoken Tom King. We will see you for the next installment of the Tom and Harrison podcast, Wrestling with Marks.
Wrestling
Thank
with
you for joining
Marks.
us.
Absolutely,
Thank
folks.
you for
Have a
joining.
good one.